Today is Tuesday, 23rd of June, coming into the market open today. So, yesterday I mentioned about basically wanting to see this inside day either accept above or below, and the fact that it took out the high but then closed near the low is kind of a bearish sign, in my opinion. It's not a great look, and actually already showing up in the futures market is a big sell-off coming into today in the Nasdaq, and the IWM also gapping down despite making new all-time highs. So that is kind of implying that actually the market might test lower again, or at best, and potentially even the most likely scenario is just continue to chop and consolidate, because ultimately there isn't anything really super fundamentally bearish at the minute, but the market does need some time to cool off. So whether that's more downside action or just time based kind of consolidation, then yeah, either one is kind of going to be fine in my opinion, and definitely what the market needs. There has been a spike in the VIX so far, back above 20, and potentially increasing coming into this next week, as the dollar has spiked as well. And the fact that the dollar is making new highs, it's above 101 now, and it's definitely breaking out of this range, which has been in place since July last year. It's definitely a strong sign that price is going to continue higher from here. So ETF wise, semiconductors selling off, space stocks continuing to get beaten down, and just to check SpaceX in itself, wow, okay, gapping down right now below IPO prices, and looking like it probably will continue. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bounce here, and just a bit of relief as this level does get defended. But ultimately, that's exactly why I decided to stay out of this stock for the initial IPO, because it's just too unpredictable. Um, Healthcare, not really doing too much. Biotech ETF, it had a fairly strong breakout, but is obviously pulling back a little bit now, alongside the broader market, and then energy as well, still cooling off. All commodities are down today. Silver looking like it potentially will make new lows as well. So everything is just looking really weak, and I guess Bitcoin as well is, yeah, that yesterday's close was not a good look, especially with it kind of looking like that was the relief, that was the rejection of this push higher, and actually the lower high is looking like it's forming, and the 10 days acting as resistance again, and looking like it will come back below the 20-day. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin push lower as well. But ultimately, I still kind of stand in the view that what we saw here was pretty strong for the most part. The fact that it had so much time consolidating above this level, and when it did get back to it, only briefly went below it. It's 2 days traded below it, but that's it. And yeah, I think for the most part, actually, I wouldn't be surprised just to see some more consolidation around these lows and waiting for the higher time frame moving averages to catch up. But at the same time, if everything is selling off, then I'm sure Bitcoin would sell off with it. So in regards to the number of stocks, the breadth indicators, number of stocks above 20-day moving average, still hovering around the midpoint. Number of stocks making 1 month highs, no real movement there. Similarly for number of stocks making 52-week highs, but the number of stocks making 52-week lows did make a bit of a push higher above above all of June new monthly highs. So the number of stocks making new lows is definitely a sign of weakness as opposed to strength, obviously. And bonds are actually selling off right now, which is a little surprising considering that the dollar's pushing higher. I would have thought they'd move in tandem, but yeah, a bit of downside pressure for now. Although it does look like potentially just some consolidating until another push higher, especially on the 5 year. That's holding up really well, and I guess similarly for the 2 year as well. The fact that it did actually make new highs, local highs yesterday. And coming into primary breadth indicators, fairly balanced day after a relatively strong close last week. So not too much to read from that. No major news events until Thursday this week, and then the fear and greed index is at 34. So kind of still not really making any progress, but still in the fear clearly, and that is definitely shown up in the performance over this past week and month. I mean, even though we're 2 days into the week, it's clear selling, which is being led by energy, which is probably a good thing, to be honest, which really supports the idea that de-escalation actually has happened in regards to Iran US, but ultimately everything's not looking super great, and most of the gains that industrials and tech have made keep getting given back. So yeah, it just seems like it is chop city and consolidation time for the market, giving the market some breathing room, and that is probably actually the ideal scenario in terms of the market doing that as we come into the next earnings season about a month from now. So that is an ideal scenario. It gives time for nice basis to form, and if it is just a cooling off, then yeah, it would be ideal. It would definitely be ideal. So coming into today, I'm just going to stay fairly neutral and cautious. But for the most part, I think what we're seeing now is definitely constructive after the rally that we had all throughout April and May.